I believe that if you want change, you will make change. And if you don't, then you will find an excuse. I believe that if you want change bad enough, you will find ways to bring about change. Now, creating change is not the easiest thing. It is going to be one of the hardest things you are going to do. Why? Because you are getting out of your comfort zone. When you are going through some dark valleys with your own mental health, it is really hard to get through those dark valleys. I have been through some very dark valleys with my own personal health. To give you some context, is I was once at a point in my life where I no longer wanted to be here. I wish that I stopped waking up. I wished that I was experiencing so much pain within me, where all I wanted was that pain to end. I was in a very, very dark place. And I learned from personal experience, I was going through some very dark valleys in the year of 2020. And then throughout the years and throughout time within the process, it still has been a journey and a process within itself. But self-reflecting from those times is, in order for me to want change, I must first had to want change so bad or bad enough where I had to start creating new changes within my todays in order for me to start to see new beginnings for my tomorrows. Now, doing that is one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're going through some very dark valleys, because when you're going through some very hard times and some very trialing times, it is really hard to believe that things will get better, or that the things that you are in the midst of, you are capable of overcoming. It is really hard to stay positive and hold on to that hold on to that faith to help you get through what it is you're in the midst of. And I learned that if you really want something bad enough, you are going to create change. I wanted change so bad enough where I eventually said, enough is enough. I need to take accountability for my doings and my actions and find a way to bear through them. And for me, I needed to find people to help me get through the places that I was in. And I'm not talking about, I seeked information from individuals who not only have gone through some very hard times, and I'm talking about some very hard times, I'm talking about people who have even experienced harder times, who has a harder story than I did, and they explained their story and they talked about how they got through what they were going through. I needed to learn from those people. I needed to learn from those people who were going through some really dark valleys and somehow found a way to overcome those dark times. I needed to find those people. And for me, I started doing research on YouTube. I started watching videos. I started listening to Steve Harvey. I started listening to David Goggins. I started listening to a variety of different people talking about their story, their journey. What is it that they did? How did they do it? Because there are so many people, when you are going through some dark valleys of your own, it is really hard to believe that somebody else has it worse. When you are going through some really hard times, in the moment, you feel like you are the only one going through it. You are the only one going through something. And I knew, I can't remember if I came across a quote, a video, maybe a conversation I was having with someone close to me. I can't remember what, but there was something that happened where I was like, I needed to seek information from those who can help me get through what I was going through. I needed to listen to the information that was going to sting in the moment. By sting, I'm talking about someone laying out some very hard truth to you, like saying you are where you are because of your own actions. You know, stop being in your own, stop crying in your own self-pity. You know, other people have it worse. I'm not saying that you don't have it bad. It's not that is not what I am implying. What I'm saying is that a lot of people have it far worse. And because some people do have it far worse, it's one, count your blessings, but two, there are people who have a much harder story, such as our ancestors, for example, who really, really been through the trenches, you know what I mean? And they somehow endured. They somehow pulled through. They somehow found a way to keep on going. And if our ancestors can do it without the tools that we have now, you know, then we can do it too, because we have access to tools that makes things simpler and easier, which has pros and cons. The pro behind it is we have access to a lot of information. If there's something we seek, we can just about look up anything we want to know. And there's cons because by things becoming simpler and easier, it weakens our mind. It weakens our ability to think, how to think. And to me, that's a bit frightening, because what I'm trying to say is the more things become easier, the more we become weaker. So, meaning, if you do what's easy, your life is going to be hard. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope this video was able to bring some form of value to and for you. I haven't made a video like this in a very long time. By me holding the phone, and I found some good shapes, so I wanted to be surrounded by nature and kind of have a different scenery and different background, and I felt inspired and I wanted to make this video. Anyhow, I love you, I appreciate you, and remember, grow through what you go through. Much love. I like it.